Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Monday, the 9th of September 2024. We're starting here with the synoptic shown at lunchtime yesterday in this thundery trough sat across southern England that gave us those thunderstorms and heavy showers. Some of it was quite spectacular to watch. That's thankfully moved away a little bit. Midnight last night shows the low pressure moving out into northern France, and the frontal system start to move through from the west to the east. And by lunchtime today, this is the picture that we're looking at. We're going to have as a gentle to moderate northwesterly airflow. We've got kind of a ridge, high pressure starting to build, but that's not going to be influencing the weather too much just yet. We're basically in the back end of these fronts disappearing off out to the east. So the top cover that we've got right now is going to gradually thin throughout the day, but it's going to be quite a slow process, I think. And if we look at the satellite picture, as it comes up to around about 8:45, you can see just out to the west here, the top cover starting to thin a bit. So yeah, looking quite reasonable for the day. If we look at the rain radar then to the north and east of us, there's still a few showers left associated with those fronts, but they are thinning out and fizzling out as the day goes on. So if we run the rain prediction, sort of forecast here, through lunchtime and into the afternoon and then early evening, we can see that most of that rain disappears from the UK altogether. So we should have a reasonable day without any precipitation. Looking at the Odium TAF then, we're looking at 310, 12 knots, greater than 10k visibility, broken at 1,000 feet, but becoming by about 10 o'clock local. Few at 1,500 feet with a 30% chance that between now and sort of then 310, 16, gusting 26 knots, and temporarily between now and 1 p.m. scattered at 1,800 feet. And the Farnborough TAF is showing 310, 12 knots, greater than 10k visibility, broken at 1,400 feet, and then becoming by 11 a.m. scattered at 2,500. So there's a little bit of difference there between the two sort of local airfields that are out to the northeast. Spot winds then, to the north of us, 310, 20 knots, to the south of us, 310, 20 knots, both at 1,000 feet. So that's kind of northwesterly all day. And if we have a look at windy, I've chosen Monday at 12 noon. On the surface, we've got 11 knots northwesterly there to contend with. And the local public forecast is showing something similar, northwesterly 10 knots. And then after tea time, it's gradually reducing throughout the evening. Temperatures today getting up to about 16, 17 centigrade at the most, and the cloud cover is going to be overcast up until about lunchtime, and then we'll start to get some breaks in the cloud and get some sun on the ground. GFS are showing about 18 centigrade with the dew point down round about 10 in our area, and locally from the Lasham weather station, we've got 12.6 as the temperature and 10.4 as the dew point. So quite a narrow split there. Hence, there's still a lot of moisture around in the atmosphere that we can see. And then looking out the window, we can see that low cloud and there's a northwesterly winds there. But it's perfectly flyable at the moment. I think we'll be able to get out and make a start as soon as we've finished briefing. SkySet are showing a potential flight distance of about 1 to 200 kilometers, possibly 300 kilometers with a stretch of the imagination. But I don't think it's going to be the brilliant day that they're forecasting. And if we have a look at the spot forecast around the Lasham area, we can see that cloud base isn't going to be much above 2,000 feet. Above mean sea level until after about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, when it will gradually climb throughout the day up to about 4.5 above sea level. Top Meteo then showing something similar on potential flight distance. And if we look at the thermal projections, hour on hour, we start here at 9 o'clock. And we can see there's very little in the way of thermal activity until about lunchtime, when we start to get the break in the top cover. And then it quite slowly but gradually improves throughout the afternoon. And by about 5 o'clock, it looks like it's going to go blue. Looking at NOTAMs then, there's a few around the area. 18's the usual Barton Stacey live firing. 19 is Rushmore. It's flares after about 9 p.m. this evening, so it's not going to affect us. Ash Ranges at 21, the usual live firing there. Uphaven is at 22. They've had a phone number change at the gliding club there. And then to the north of us, 31 and 32 is the usual Opmoor live firing, and Western on the green danger area, Delta 129, is active today. So let's move on to the local airfield brief. And we'll start with the Odium cross section. And you can see that we've got a bit of low clouds at the moment. That's gradually going to improve throughout the day. We should get cloud base up to about maybe 3,000–4,000 feet by the end of the afternoon. Surface winds, as per the Odium TAF, around about northwesterly, 10 to 12 knots. There's no significant weather, although there is a strong wind warning out. It's greater than 26 knots. I would presume that's gusting to greater than 26. So we'll just keep an eye on that and look after the canopies and the ground handling when we're out on the airfield today. This is what the booking list looks like on the club website, which essentially equates to a K21 for booked flying, one on the 5-day course, one on the casual list. There's one booked out to club members, and there's a K13 booked out to club members as well, which means there's a K21 and a couple of K13s available. And most of the single seats are available today as well. There's nobody on the casual list as yet, and the simulator is available as per normal. We do have some movements today. 1500 local, there's a Beach 200 departing for a maintenance check flight. That's due to come back around about 4:15 local. And then its estimated departure is going to be around about 6 o'clock this evening. That's yet to be confirmed. So the operation today, we're going to set up on runway 27 for a dry operation. Light to moderate northwest of the winds. Will be overcast to start with, but improving throughout the day. Just a reminder then about buggies, seated passengers only, i.e. not on the flatbed at the rear. We're not insured for it. And please do not land or taxi on the unusual parts of 1634 or 0523, which are south of the main 2709 runway. I'll show you those in a minute on the airfield map. And of course, one more church notice about a Boeing. There's still places on week 1 and week 3. If you're interested, contact the office, please. So the airfield setup today. We've got the launch point vehicle on the hard on 27 in the usual place. Club winch launch will be on the grass to the south. We may have to move the winch a little bit further into the airfield, and if the crosswind, which I've not set up here, apologies for that. If the crosswind, which is from the northwest, proves to be a problem, then what we'll do is we'll move the winch launching to the north side of the runway, and that'll give us a bit of a longer run and some higher launches. The club area towing will be off the hard, and if there's a club grid required, then to the north on 27 grass north as required. If you don't want to go on the grid, just join the club area tow, and we'll give you a launch. The reds cross here is the disused runways. They are becoming a big issue with gliders landing or rolling across at high speed, and we're wrecking a few tires and wheels doing it. So if you can avoid that, please do so. And instructors, if it looks like your students are going to be landing on there or rolling over, please take over and sort it out so that you can avoid them. That's it from me today. Thanks very much for listening in. I shall see you out at the launch point. Have a great day and please keep it safe.